Welcome back to another Educational Wednesday, guys. My name is David. Thank you so much for tuning in to another amazing video. So today we are going to do a new series since we finished Contagious. We're going to focus a little bit more on wealth creation and what really surrounds that sort of idea of building wealth for the future. So really quickly, obviously being a college student, wealth is something I haven't achieved yet. So we're going to be using examples from Ty Lopez, Grant Cardone, different entrepreneurs, different books, The Richest Man in Babylon, another great example, to really show those examples of how they built wealth and how it's such a simple way and simple concept that we just got to understand and get into. So today's going to be basically wealth creation 101, the 3 buckets. Ty Lopez actually teaches this, and I saw this in one of his videos, so I thought I'd share it with you guys a little bit. He goes through and he talks about the 3 different buckets and how it's such a simple way of thinking and a different way of changing up what you personally, how you live in your finances, but it's such an easy way to build wealth and create a better life for yourself. It might sound really simple. All this really is super simple, but in the end of the day, it's all about you implementing it. It might be simple, everything's simple, but you have to be willing and able to implement it into what you're doing now. So with that said, let's get into today's video. So, we're talking about wealth creation, and we are going to go through the 3 buckets. So now for this, I'm going to draw it out. I'm a visual learner, and this all applies to you. So we're going to look at, let's say, a salary. Now I'm going to use $1,000. Let's say this is your paycheck right here. Or you can use a yearly, weekly, or however you want to calculate this. It's totally up to you. Probably do each paycheck, make it easier for you guys. And what we're going to do is we're going to create 3 buckets with my amazing art skills. All right, so we got 3 buckets here. Now, I'm going to go from right to left, but each of these buckets represents something. So the right bucket here is going to be your wealth builder. This is where you're going to go ahead and invest your money that you are willing to risk to lose. This is your investing. This is where you put in money for any business, any venture you have, anything you want to invest in. Your money goes in here. The middle bucket's going to be your living expenses. So this is going to be for you to live. This is the not so risky. This is where you're just living off what you need to live off to survive. So this is just basically what you're paying your bills, you're feeding yourself, you're taking care of yourself. This right here is your savings, right? And so we're going from the least risky to the riskiest. Here, you really there should be no risk, almost no risk at all. You should have a savings account, have your money saved up, and have it be your emergency fund. This is where you're safe and you have something going on. Now the reason we're going through it might sound really simple, but this is important to think about because especially in America, I mean, almost half of Americans, 50% are living paycheck to paycheck, and so it's really important for us to take a look at how we can change that to help them start building wealth and get them out of this financial rut that they're stuck in the rat race. So when we have these 3 boxes here, right, now we can allocate our percentage of these guys right here. So I'm just going to go through it. It all depends on your personality, how you're living. You can increase, decrease it. It doesn't really matter so much about the dollar amounts you put in to each one or the percentage you put into each one, as long as you have 3 and you're putting in money for all 3. It could be $1 here, $1 here, and the rest here because that's all you can afford. But it's getting that principle down. It's really just getting that principle and building off that, right? This is why this is such a simple drawing on how to build wealth. Just like The Richest Man in Babylon, that whole book is super simple, but now it's up to you are you willing to actually implement it and put this into your life? So from here we say probably 10% for wealth building. So about $100 goes into your bucket each paycheck. This again is where you're being risky and you're investing. This is where your wealth is built. All right. This is where your wealth is built. This is where you survive. This is for your survival to live, and this is for your emergencies right here. if you want to take a look at that way, is the buckets. So here you're building wealth, you're taking risks. You have to be willing that your $100 might become zero, you might lose your money. This is the bucket where you're willing to lose that money. You're okay with losing it, but you're also okay because you know that eventually you will be building wealth once you find something that you find that you can get a great return on and not lose your money on. Now here for a living, Ty talks about this a lot too. Actually, let's go to savings. So let's say you want for 10% savings as well. So that's another $100, right? So 20% is spread out here. Again, you can allocate it however you want, but that's just the easy simplification here. Now this leaves us with 80% to go down the middle. Now Ty, what he talks about is he puts about 10% to charity before he goes ahead and lives. Why? Because charity giving, right? We talk about this with the Go Giver book review. We talk about those all the time. You want to constantly be giving. The more you give, just the more you feel like you're getting in return. That shouldn't be the overall goal, but the whole point here is you want to give. You want to give more and give as much as you can. Build that habit of giving from the beginning, because money doesn't change you, right? Money, the more money you have, just makes you more of who you actually are. So we're building that habit right off the bat. So get 10% charity. That means you have 70% left to live off of. So you have about $700 for your living bucket here. Excuse me. So now that we see this here, this is the basic wealth creation of the three buckets principle that Ty Lopez himself talks about in his 67 days program. I believe that's what it's called. And really, this is all it is. So challenge for you guys today is to look through, create your own three buckets, and really look at, okay, how much can I really allocate to each of these? Now, most Americans, if you're like in the 50%, 100% is going into this bucket right here, right? So now this is up to you to look at your finances, see where you are, see where you can cut back on spending, see where you can fix up your budget, see where you can reduce your payments and whatever you have to bring this percentage down to about 99, 98. You want to go lower. If you get this to 98, put 1% here, you're starting. You're at least getting somewhere. You're starting somewhere, right? It's about building that principle. Even if you just put $1 here, and the best thing about this is you can create for free checking accounts for each one of these, or at least these two. You can have two different separate checking accounts, and for your savings, you can have a savings account. If you're working for an employer, most of them have a place where you can actually specify how much percentage of your paycheck you want to go to each of these accounts. So you can set that up to automatically take money away. So you're automatically learning, hey, I'm already applying these, and I'm not shuffling money around, or say I'll do it later, but then I accidentally spend the money, right? So that's a great way to start. Really, again, it's super simple, super easy to understand, but the whole principle here is about building that habit, building that principle, and understanding that wealth isn't just created all of a sudden overnight. It's about slowly living off the minimum you can and moving as much percentages to your savings and to your wealth, so that if there's an emergency like the coronavirus right now, you're able to have a safety net for yourself, and you're not relying on the government or someone else to take care of you for your investments, right? Again, you're building wealth slowly. You're learning how to invest. You're investing in yourself. This is your self-development. This is your investments. This is your business, real estate, whatever you want to get into. This is where you're putting in the money, and your living expenses, that's just you being able to live off of the income that you have, and slowly as your income grows, as you make more money through your investments. Let's say you have a business here, it's making you more money, right? Goes up to, let's say, $10,000. Now all of a sudden, that becomes $7,000 that you can live off of, or you can even lower that a little bit, right? So it's about the simplicity of just understanding the principle of having three buckets, and if you guys can understand that, then creating wealth is not far away from that. So anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought. This was from Ty Lopez. I have a couple other videos and different principles coming out from Richest Man in Babylon, Grant Cardone. We got a bunch of different episodes of different other ways to build wealth and other ways to think of getting this mindset right. I mean, this is all about having great mindset. you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have a strong mindset, then you're gonna lose it. You see this a lot in professional athletes, actors. You know, they make $100 million, $800 billion, and they lose it all when they stop doing what they were good at, which is sports, because they trusted the money to the wrong people. They spent the money. They didn't think about taxes and other things, and so they got crushed. Right? That's not how they built. They didn't build wealth. They made a lot of money. But remember, wealth is, if you look at Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad, wealth is how long you can survive off of your income, passive income. And if your passive income is able to equal your expenses, then you have created wealth, right? So as long as you're able to live, if your wealth is at the point where your investments, everything are making the same as your living, you're wealthy. You can live and you don't have to work anymore, right? So the goal here is to just understand this principle, get it down. So let me know what you thought. Let me know if there's anyone else you want me to, or any other principles you want me to look into and talk about. With that being said, though, guys, please leave a like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you guys in next Wednesday when we go through another amazing educational Wednesday video. With that, peace out, guys, and I'll catch you guys later.